I just kind of want to go into it, and this is a response to D Styles. All right. So my last video, I'm talking shit. In this video, let's talk about the problems that you have with Obama. To be honest, this isn't about the criticism, man. I'm not a big fan of Obama to the point where, you know, I'm defending everything. All I'm doing is saying comparing him to Trump is bullshit. I'll express that throughout this video, but that's what you did, and I'm gonna explain why it's bullshit. One of the things that you brought up that really I think I need to address first in this video is obviously immigration, right? One thing I do know is where I live, right? Southern California. You have counties. Just because you're in a blue state doesn't mean that your county is also majority Democrat. Or maybe it is majority Democrat, but those in office that are controlling, um, really what happens around you in that county, a lot of them are could be Republican, and Orange County is one of them. Orange County is where you have Anaheim, where Disneyland is at. You have Knott's Berry Farm. It's got Huntington Beach. It has what Angels, and they have the Ducks play here. This is a big city, right? But it's very Republican, and it's racist, and it's been doing things on their own. Each state kind of works on their own. Each county works on their own. And to give these numbers, you know, the numbers that you talked about, which I'm going to address right now, to give these numbers perspective, you got to have to understand, what do you mean by when you say under Obama's administration he has deported more people than any other president? What is the strength of this number? Because in my opinion, throughout his presidency, I saw each state acting against him and doing things just how they wanted to do it. Arizona was a big, example of that. I mean, they were open about it. Obama was also open about how he felt on the situation, and Arizona said, fuck you. You know, that's why when it comes down to it's let's if we're gonna pass the blame, this has to be evenly distributed between the people involved. To say that because those numbers are there, that this administration will be similar to Trump's, I think is fucking bullshit, and it's dangerous to say that because it drops people's guard when it comes to Trump. And you're saying, "Oh, you're scared of Trump." I've said this before in my other videos. It's not Trump. It's the people around him waiting for a green light to be extremists. Because they've been waiting, they've been patiently waiting, and some of them have been acting out. And we've seen states act out. This has already happened before. But in under Obama's administration, I here's one fact. I don't see the Los Angeles Police Department saying that they're going to, that they're not going to be part of Obama's uh, deportation, police. That they're not going to be part of these mass deportation raids. New York came out and said that too, right? Under with Barack, I didn't see schools have to send out letters telling people, "Hey, your children are going to be safe here. Don't worry. You can send them to school. We'll keep them safe. We're not going to turn them in." You don't have that under Obama to compare what is crossing over and who Trump has around him and who he has surrounded himself around. You know, to say that that is anywhere close to Obama's administration is bullshit. Bullshit. How much of these of these deportations are being considered strictly ICE, the federal government? How many of it is local enforcement turning these people over to ICE because of just the way that sometimes it's not even a mission to pull over undocumented citizens. Sometimes you're just a racist cop and you happen to go after undocumented, just people that look like that, and you're gonna run across them, and you're gonna have great numbers, and it's all gonna go under Obama's administration, and he's gonna get credit for that shit. And it's kind of bullshit to compare that to what Trump is presenting as a plan of attack. It's an attack because it's kind of ruthless to just openly say, well, structure of the family doesn't matter. This is what we're gonna do. Whether you're American, if you're 5 years old and you're an American citizen, but your mom isn't, both of you are leaving, right? So these kind of where you're not going to take a humanitarian approach to it, that's completely opposite of what Obama has been showing. He's not going to take a humanitarian approach to war. So don't bring that up. There's a lot of things about this war that's very sketchy. But it's war. We are very comfortable on our end because the war has never really touched us. Right? Having tanks from another country go through our streets. But why are we there? What are we doing? What is the mission? This is a big topic that I think it's bigger than you, D Styles. To be honest, you might have your opinion, and I get it. You don't want to see people fight for no reason. On that subject, I think you're right. I'm not going to touch on that, but I think it's bigger than you. Above your pay grade. But let's talk about the banks, right? You have an opinion on banks, even though I think that is also outside your expertise. But let's kind of dab into it. I work for a direct lender, right? You call me a financial advisor. You can call me whatever, a scumbag, whatever. It doesn't matter. But this idea that these bankers are they're all garbage, and I get it. I completely understand. I get why people are angry at bankers. Usually, when someone owes someone money, you don't really have that great relationship with them until the debt is paid, until they need more money. The one thing with the banks, I always kind of looked at it this way, was that it wasn't a useless bailout. The funds that were, and here's the thing, a lot of people use the fact that the banks that received the bailout profited off the bailout. They use that as, negative, something negative, right? I saw it as something positive. That showed me that they didn't take the money in pocket, the funds. They took that money and put it to use. When you lend out funds to companies, to businesses, to middle class, people that are looking to buy homes and cars, I deal with commercial loans. So when I work with a business and I'm offering financing, I'm hoping that they can use that money to make more. And there's a lot of times that these companies they're at the verge of bankruptcy themselves. Guess what happens? They ask for a loan. A lot of times they go out and seek for loans. But because banking is in a market, kind of works as a market, um, when people go out and these especially businesses go out and they take out these loans, it's a service that you're providing. Yeah, you're gonna make a profit, but it shows that you're using the money. It circulates because that business. Let's say, I'll give you an example. Give you a fucking example, right? I financed a tow truck for a company, small business. They had one tow truck. They're doing roughly about $100,000, or no. Yeah, $100,000 a year with that truck. They had one driver, one truck. She was looking to grow. She needed to make more money, right? Things were costing more and she just needed to make more money. So the owner of the business bought another tow truck. We helped finance that tow truck. So when we did that, the money that came from us will make her another $100,000 a year. Doesn't stop there. She has to hire another truck driver. Hiring another driver, and whenever that car needs maintenance, she needs to pay for that service. So she needs to go, and that's another car that needs to be fueled with gas. That's insurance that you pay for that other vehicle. There's so much money to be spread to different companies. When that money hits the bank and it gets lent out and shot out, it gets put to use. It's a good thing for the economy for that to circulate. So it's, the bank is not a black hole. And we didn't have a problem. Really, there were a lot of people that were scared that we weren't going to bail out the automotive industry. People were saying that we should just let them fail. But then there was the other side of the coin. What happens to businesses, right? But see, the automotive industry was different. It's not the bank. It's not, the product is the money. So when you lend out credit to these banks, they can really put that to use. This happens all the time. Happens all the time. Right? Whenever there's a project, a local project, for example, let's say they're building a ramp onto a freeway or adding another lane, when the city gets the money to make these changes, they'll put that money in a bank, and then they set these contracts out. They try to get companies to bid for these contracts. When they bid for those contracts, they usually have to wait 30, 60, 90, sometimes they'll be waiting a long time to get paid, 3, 4, 5